This video is sponsored by the Design Mechanism, the makers of Mythras. Mythras is a registered trademark of the Design Mechanism Inc., used with permission. All rights reserved.
And we are here. If somebody could have a chat, that would be brilliant. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, there we go.
How
Right.
you doing?
Let's see where everybody has ended up. So the only two people who are in the wrong place is Captain and Medivac. The others, you all got in the right place, so you are perfect. Did we say something that you would get something special if you got in the right place?
Yeah, we agreed that it would double our luck points.
I heard it was an additional suicidal character.
Points and you wouldn't die of sight.
Well, do you know, I don't think we've ever left it in the middle of a combat over a week. I think we've always finished, to my memory, but I might be wrong. I think, and I also don't think we've ever had a combat that's lasted 5 rounds, apart from, now I don't know who was actually playing the game when we had this one, but when we were, can you remember when you were killing the centipede in the Library of the Mystic?
Yep. And Bartleby couldn't do a thing. He just kept trying and missing, and the thing just made everybody tired. Eventually, we all just kind of sat down and were like, okay, centipede, get out of here.
Yeah, the centipede kept trying to disengage and go off, but couldn't do it. Were you there, Medivac, there at that point or not?
I don't think Medivac was there yet.
Sadly, no, that's the one where it ran out of like endurance stuff.
Yeah, it was
so funny.
It would be funny if people got up from their chairs and went and sat in other people. Oh yeah, that would be clever. If you're all really in the same room and you all got up and sat in other people's chairs or something.
Today, everyone, with only a donation of $300, we can pull this off in 7 more weeks.
Yeah. Hang on, how much is $700? I think because we got a bad exchange rate at the moment, haven't we?
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder if it's changed recently.
Okay.
I have no idea, but
guys, I can be honest. I haven't seen those glasses in a while, and
you just trumped me.
It was just kind of scared me a little bit there.
At least, everybody's got a new Tesla, haven't they? Which is very nice.
I need something to put my trash in until trash.
I
found that
is the way forward. Tesla.
Who's the lady who speaks at all the White House conference? She's got blonde hair.
She's the media secretary.
Yeah.
What's it?
She is
So the
brainwashed.
actual term for it. She's not brainwashed. She's just paid well. No, she's not being paid well.
Same
She
thing.
just she knows that if she does her job well, she'll become governor.
Or she
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah. It's $700 is $700 is £540.
Yeah,
I would do it for that. That's a poor exchange rate. That's not very good at all.
It was pretty close, like pretty neck to neck when I visited last year.
Yeah.
In 2023.
For some reason, it's plummeted. I can't.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Anyway, that would require. Druttercup said that would require a brain to wash. Well, I was.
Yeah, there's that.
Ooh.
You're on political Mythras.
Just got doxxed.
Yes. Right. Let's get on. Because we're in the middle of a combat, and Belle has actually reloaded her sling. Caramore has hopefully relit his pilot light for his birthday. And Bracef is trying to wrestle with a bear, and Ida is standing by when the bear wins and shreds Bracef. I think he's actually got a hit in, hasn't he? The bear. I think he got a hit in last time, which was nice. First hit that I've done. No. Anyway, before we go any further, I'll allow the players an opportunity to say who they are and who they will be playing tonight. And we'll start off, as ever, with Mr. Pickles. Go for it, Pickles.
That's me. I'm Mr. Pickles. And I can't match that level of energy for the rest of this. I play our gnome rogue. We named her Belle. She does all of the roguish things. She's basically our alarm system, I think, at this point, because she has tunnel sense, which means I can feel things coming through the ground at a grade easier. She's got great hearing, great eyesight. She's just got all of the things to make perception easy. She does some sneak attacks.
Big ears.
She's not our main fighter. Yes, her big pointy ears that people make fun of, including
yes.
the storyteller. She uses a short sword and a sling, and more often than not, I'm loading that sling. That's what I'm known for. I'm also the banker of the group, and with that, I'm going to throw it to the person who can do all.
I got that one. That's what you're gnomed for.
Yeah.
Gnomed for.
What was that? Was that a joke or not?
No, I just don't speak correctly.
Oh, rats.
And with that, I'm going to throw it to Medivac to save me.
Well, thank you. Hi all, I'm Medivac and I play Ida. She's a hoe of magic.
Are you still there?
Your mic looks like you.
Yeah. Keep going in and out.
I'm muted.
No, you're good now.
You're good now.
Sorry, I was having my speak mic down. Right, so I play Ida. She's an elven cleric and she's awesome. Yeah. She casts things like heal and shield and bless, and everybody loves her. She's the best chuffing cleric in the world. She's a Donald Trump cleric. And when you play golf with her, she will win playing golf because she knows how to keep the ball into the right place. And that is the way forward. And with that, I shall pass on to Captain. Sorry.
Hi everyone, I'm Captain Kangaroo, and I'm playing Bracef. And I'm gonna pass the microphone to Fish now. No, I'm playing Bracef. he's a big strong guy of the group, of course, and that's naturally what I play now is to play strong guys for some reason. I don't know why. It's just ever since I started going to the gym, I just now noticed that like it's who I am. So it's my only personality trait. No, right now he's wrestling a bear, and hopefully that's not a euphemism for anything. That he's wrestling for something deep inside him. Uh,
Did I miss the memo that we're doing silly intros today?
I'm going to pass the microphone to our good pal, Fishy.
Hello, I'm Fishy, and I will be playing Chamomile Blackmane, who is a
Fishy the
spoiled
sensible
posh boy
one.
with some spells. His only achievement in this fight so far is to lightly warm the bear in case it was getting cold.
Yes.
But maybe we can do better this week.
Yes.
And with that, back to Ian Wills.
Okay, so the party are actually trying to clear out a hot springs area to bring prosperity back to the local village. As they were going out through the swamp, they've encountered some vampire birds, which were marked on their map. They have come across a herbalist, and well, they've come across a herbalist assistant and called Swamp Marsh, and they've saved her, and she went off. They also know that in the swamp, quite a while, Mary Jo, I think her name was, lost her beloved Billy to the woods, and they currently have found Billy. However, Billy has turned into a big bear when the party were attacked by Froglodytes, and they got rid of those, but Billy Bear turned into a bear during the combat, and that's where we left it last time. And we're actually up to round 5 of the combat, and we're keeping the actual order and everything that we had before, and so we're coming straight into combat. Oh, you've all got bless on, so you should have augment 5 at the top of your characters, because that came from Ida. And we are coming into combat 5, turn 1. So everybody, you don't have your magic points are not refreshed, but your luck points are. So remember that you can reset your luck points to the maximum. And the party itself has 2 more heroic points for the rest of the month. Belle, you are up, or what would you like to do?
I believe we left off last session with me preparing to fire off a slingshot at this creature, but I got interrupted.
Yes, so you are ready. You are loaded and ready to go. What would you like to fire at?
Abrasive. No, I'm kidding. I gotta even the fight for the bear. No, the bear is my target, and I'm assuming sneak attack doesn't work on this bear based on the descriptor of sneak attack.
Correct. And your attack roll will be hard, because
into
you're into melee. So just to remind you, if you succeed on the hard, then you hit the bear. If you fail the roll, you miss everything. But if you succeed on a standard attack, you hit brasive.
Yeah, it's worth it. Here's the roll. I got a 45 out of a hard 49.
Yeah, you whirl your sling round, and Caramore, as you're sort of like backing off, this stone flies past your ears. There's a wisp of hair as it moves in the wind, and yeah, you will be hitting the bear. So you will have a special, and I need a special hit location and damage, please.
I would like to do
Watch
stun
where you're
location.
pointing that thing.
What's that?
Watch where you're pointing that thing.
Oh, I know exactly where I'm pointing. I spend a lot of time focusing on pointing and loading this thing. So stun location is my special.
Yeah, so 1d20.
Right in the 19, which I'm
is its
thinking
head. Yeah.
Aye.
I'm going to stun him in the head for
I just don't believe it. If you stun my bear,
3
points of damage.
No.
So would you believe that the only hit location that has no armor points is the bear's head? Okay, it doesn't have natural hide there. It's already had 2 points of damage in there, so it will take another 3 points. Now, if I'm right, I must make a endurance check against your original dice roll.
Correct. My 45.
45. Now, just out of interest, if I failed this, then because it's my head, I will be a headshot renders the defender briefly insensible for a number of turns equal to the damage caused. So here is
helping you out, Brasive.
Here's my endurance check.
Oh.
So my endurance check fails. Which means this little slingshot comes flying across, and Brasive, as you're wrestling this bear, this slingshot goes bash into the side of the bear's head, and the bear somewhat goes limp in your arms. Caramore, what would you like to do?
I would like to get away from the bear and out of the line of fire. He's got this now. It's all good.
Okay, so Billy Bear can't do anything. I'm senseless for the next 3 turns. Ida, what would you like to do?
I would like to not unmute myself. And then what I'd like to do is take this in here and go. Has anyone taken damage?
Not. I think Brasive took some damage, but I don't know whether or not it injured him. Brasive.
No.
That's fine. In which case, I will cast.
Just my ego.
Just your ego.
Such an extent that Red Bull.
I'm going to cast Befuddle on the bear.
Okay.
Do all of the casters have Befuddle?
So the
way forward.
How this has been allowed to happen.
Okay then. So roll your channeling.
We're down here to celebrate 20 years of racing, 20th season, and it's great to see all of the cars out here and running up the hill over the weekend. When you've had the kind of season like we had.
Sorry, there we go.
Yeah. So you cast Befuddle on the bear. The bear's actually unconscious at the moment, so he can't resist it at all. But which then brings us to you, Brasive. What would you like to do? The bear is now unconscious in your arms. It's just sort of like flopped down, and you saw this this rock hit the bear's head that you presume. Well, you probably saw Belle whirling her sling around and then firing it at. So, what would you like to do?
I'm going to grab my axe at this point.
Yeah,
on the ground
because you dropped it beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm going to put the both my hands on the handle of the axe, and put the handle of the axe against the bear's neck, and then get behind the bear to strangle it a bit, to knock it out. I'm trying to knock the bear
just
out.
A bit.
Just a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna strangle it just a bit.
So if you we will assume that you've made a successful grapple at this time, since I'm quite helpless. So you can inflict, once you've grappled something, then you inflict your damage modifier as damage. So whatever your damage modifier is, you just roll that. And that's what I will take. And we'll say that it's in the head, since that's where you've got the choke hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so that takes it down.
Damage.
Yeah. So that takes it down to 0. So the bear almost like has been knocked senseless. It's been befuddled, and then you sort of like yank the shaft of your axe round its neck, causing the bear to pass out via losing its hit points on its head, and the bear seems to slump even more Brasive. But the other thing that you notice is that once it's passed out, you suddenly notice that the bear suddenly starts to change, and within a few seconds, and you all see this as it happens, the bear transforms back into Billy that you saw with his cut off shorts and the necklace round his neck that you have already decided was the other half that Mary Jo had. And he sort of like slumps down, back down to the ground. He seems to be unconscious. So his head wound is now he has a serious wound in his head, which has caused him to pass out.
I just want to say now, we don't want him as staff.
Yes, I think we can agree on that. That's a good person to not have on our staff, considering we already have a soup spitter that might just cause him to freak out. Yeah, the lady who spits in our soup, Bianca.
Oh, yeah.
If she gets mad at you, she spits in your soup, and that's going to make him be angry even more. And he's going to turn into a bear.
Only if he saw it. Can you each make for me, please, a standard endurance check?
Ooh. Oh.
So,
Alrighty then.
we don't really do endurance as a party, do we?
I mean, Brasive is handling like a 800-pound bear.
Yeah,
it's fair to be a little bit fumbly. Get your endurance up.
112-pound boy. It's a different thing altogether.
Just waiting for Ida's endurance check. Brilliant. So, Brasive, don't forget you can increase that 1 point at the start of next adventure. Just to remind anybody, if you had a fumble last week, you need to increase the skill point now and remove your fumble so you can fumble again. And Caramore, quite unbelievable, but I think you've probably been very nervous. Caramore and Brasive, you will have a 1 level of fatigue, which means that you will be winded at this point. It's not going to cause any significant change, I don't think, at this point.
Or has way too much in his backpack.
But if you, I think it just does the normal fatigue rules, but I'll just check. Winded. Oh yes. So if you're winded, your skill grades will be hard, but your character sheet will automatically do that. So remember, in Classic Fantasy, and we'll transfer this over to Mythras as well. You have the option to take short rests. A short rest is 15 minutes long. And during that short rest, you have the opportunity to do one of the following. Obviously, you can add 4 short rests through to get the hour. So you can eat a ration that reduces your fatigue. You can pray or study the book and regain 1 magic point and a level of fatigue. You could tend to wounds using the first aid or healing. You can cast a spell if you need to, say, cure light wounds, or you can just choose to dither. Okay, so at this point, you are in the swamp. I'm going to leave Billy Bear's bear token as a bear, even though he's not at the moment, but that will be his token, and I know when he will be a bear and will not. So yeah, if you remember, you had woken up and seen the body there. So this is probably quite a nice place just to congregate at the moment. Brasive brings across the unconscious body of Billy Bear and sort of like slumps him down on the floor. Yeah, what would you like to do?
Brasive will do the short rest. Go ahead.
Who's going first?
Well, Billy,
I'll just gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do the thing, and he's gonna do the thing, and.
So it's the first thing that you would like to do, take a short rest, is that?
Yes, yeah, I would like to do that.
I think so.
Okay, then.
I'll eat my ration.
That's absolutely fine. So your bless spell has a duration of 5 minutes, so make sure you take away your whatchamacallit, your augment from the top bar, because that will be wearing off. And then you can take a ration. Ida, what was it that you wanted to do?
I would like to make sure that Billy Bear is subdued and tied up for him to be going back home.
Okay, then. So I'm assuming that somebody has some rope with them in their backpack. And so who would like to do the tying up?
I'm the worst tire.
So just to let you know, this will go on your brawn skill. So to actually break out of binds, it's like an opposed brawn roll. So you sort of like tie up, and then because you've got plenty of time, we assume that your brawn roll is possibly the maximum you can have, or something like that. And then
I'll chuck some rope to Brasive.
That's right. Brasive obviously uses his massive brawn to subdue this bear.
Yeah. So how this body. Yeah, how are you tying Billy up?
Like a hog.
I don't feel like, I feel like that's gonna be uncomfortable. I'll just tie up his legs and tie up his wrists together.
That'll be
Behind the
comfortable.
back.
So tying his legs, his ankles together and his wrists together, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what is your brawn?
71.
71. Very close to my...
That's my boy.
Right.
So, yeah. Bracif ties up the Billy, who's still out cold on the floor. You take some rations, you eat some of your rations to get your fatigue back. What else would you like to do? Is that...
Do I roll, Braun?
No, it's classed as if it's your best roll, because if you were doing it in a rush, then I would ask you to roll, but you've got plenty of time, and he's going to be out for quite a significant period, I think.
Oh, it's quite a very close battle. But
What's it?
luckily I threw that rock at his face and distracted him.
Well done,
Did you-
Bracef. I'm very impressed by how you worked.
Yeah, very nice. Obviously, came from this and this.
And this.
I don't understand what you're saying.
During the short rest, Belle is just going to go picking for rocks, since she's not fatigued or anything. She wants more ammo for her sling. Did you find any of the stuff that I threw?
I thought you were going to say you were using the short rest to reload it.
Yeah. How many stones did you chuck?
In that last battle, I believe it was 3.
Really?
It might have just been 2.
Really?
Because there was the first one at the Froglodyte to my left, and then I did the one with the bear for sure. I think there... Oh, no, there was a third one with the bear. The third one, which we saw today.
Okay.
Was combat that long?
Well, that's what happens when we have battle happening for 3 hours.
Oh.
But I immediately got rushed by the Froglodyte, so I had to drop and draw my short sword, and then I started reloading, threw at the bear. I think I got a leg, and then I started reloading again, and by the end of the last session, then I was ready to go.
Put the stone in the sling.
So if you would like to roll your perception.
Excellent. I am special with perception. Psych. I'll go ahead and use a point of luck.
I see dead people.
I'll reverse that 94 to a 49, get out of 53.
Nice. So that would be a standard success. So you gain, I think it's half what you chucked. The rules for this are actually in classic fantasy, because I was reading it the other day and thought, oh, that's nice. Let's go with that. You've got 1 back until I find the actual rules, and then we can change it if need be. That sounds good. So 1 out of the 3 is good. Hang on, 89, page 89.
I don't think I want to pick the one out of the bear brain.
Success, 75%, so 3/4. So you can have two back, and we'll leave the one in the bear that is probably lodged into his head. So you gather, and Bracef has tied Billy Bear up. And Caramel, what you'll be eating a ration as well to get your fatigue back, yeah?
Snacking and getting my breath back. And staying as far from the bear as possible, even though it's not a bear at the moment.
Yeah, which you are currently. I like the fact that Belle's token is smaller than everybody else's. which is fitting for a gnome. So, yeah. Okay, then. So, what's going to be your plan now? It's it's only about an hour since you woke up. If you remember, you woke up and found Billy Bear's body there after a night. And obviously you've been, the troglodytes tried to get a surprise attack on you, which you managed to withstand. But their bodies are still around as well. So yeah,
I was hoping actually with the troglodytes, hoping to
the what? Sorry,
I'm gonna do I'm trying to remember what my knowledge check is called. Are they under magical beasts?
What would you like to know about the troglodytes, not the
troglodytes?
Yeah,
troglodytes, those ones. If they're under magical beasts, I'm gonna try to do a magical beast lore check. See what I remember about them.
Okay.
Maybe something we can help with any future possible ambushes.
Yeah. I was just about to say, I can't believe that Brasive has studied, but maybe he hasn't.
Not much. It's not much of a study. It's just kind of like a thing you just picked up over time.
I think it's more of a case that you, rather than studying it, it's probably more that you've heard stories about them or actually fought things. And currently, you can't bring anything to mind. You can't think of when these troglodytes have been mentioned. Troglodytes, yes. Nasty lizard men. No. Troglodytes, not.
Unless you would like amphibious, and that's different, right? They like water more, guys.
Yeah,
with that in mind, I'd like to cast my mind back for when I was last my place of sanctuary, and think what do I know about troglodytes? Sorry.
Right.
Is this a roll coming, Ida, or not?
It is roll too. What do you want? What roll do you want?
Or what skill are you using?
I was going to use my insight because I'm thinking back to when I was with my group of I'll run
it. That was influence.
Influence, sorry, insight, sorry. I moved to one. There we go.
No, you can't remember anything about troglodytes.
I seriously can't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
darn it. I'll check the bodies to see if anything worthwhile on them. Otherwise, I'm just gonna leave them floating in the swamp.
Oh yeah, the troglodytes. Yeah. So let me just open one of the character sheets for you so I can see it. So they seem to be carrying. The first thing that you notice, they've got wooden armor on their chest and abdomen. They seem to be carrying a spear. And they do seem to have a hunting bowler on their belt or drop nearby. You also notice that they have a small shield, a small buckler shield attached to their backs as well. You're not too sure why they weren't using it, but they did have really small arms, hands, and webs, so maybe that has something to do with it. You also notice that they appear to have various, almost like a bone necklace. They seem to have something round their necks. It seems to be small bones that are attached to some kind of vine, like a vine fiber that seems to be wrapped round bones that seem to be on a necklace. And you notice that some of these have a few, some of them just have a couple. Roll your insight, Abrasive.
Rolling that insight, even though he's not very insightful. Told you.
No,
Actually, I'll do this. I'll use a point of luck
No,
Okay.
to
no.
reverse it.
Okay, then. Your point of luck will take it down to 19 out of 32 rather than 91. You've seen this before, Abrasive. You've seen this before in the past, but each sort of like monster or opponent or group of people have a different way of registering their kills. And it's almost as if they've taken a bone from their opponent. What seems to be worrying is that these bones are quite small. Does anybody have a healing skill?
I think Abrasive has a really, I think it's what, 70%? No.
I mean, we all have first aid technically.
Yeah, it's more healing for anatomy, that sort of.
Specific, yeah.
Okay, then, if no one's got. We've got a healer.
Oh.
So these appear to be human finger bones. Just you notice that some of them have been strapped together, so it has the first bone and the second bone across the joint. Some of them is just the first bone. But these
creatures must be destroyed.
What are you proposing, Ida? That we need to like go track down their tribe and kill them all?
Eviscerate them all, yes.
Battle.
So Ida, what was your what god did you follow again?
The eviscerating god.
Yeah, because
yes.
we haven't really asked too many questions about your religious fanaticism.
No, I follow the god of Nisa, who's
right?
charitable, kind, and caring about everybody else. About people take bones from children.
What?
All right.
So is this like a healing god or?
Yeah, she's all right. But she wants to kill people who. No, that's me. Sorry.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. This seems strange, Ida. That I mean, yeah, I want to kill them too, but like you're usually the brakes on our car here. Like
I know. I know what I just said. Sorry, I'm really apologetic. I don't want to kill them all, but I really do.
So we're
just half of them.
Yeah.
So we're on a mission, aren't we?
We gotta leave a message, right?
Maybe we'll find them at the spa area that we're going to solve issues. But maybe we should also solve this bear problem first. We got kind of two problems, and one of them is right here. Does your god know anything about fixing curses? Caramore, do you know anything about fixing curses?
I don't think I do, sadly.
Okay,
curses
Caramore,
are a little out of my normal area of expertise. It's like burning things. Not really seeing any curses.
Can you burn
Not
curses?
that burning's working so well lately.
I was going to say.
What if we scare him? You know, I go up to him and say, "Hey, pretend to a bear again. I'll cut off your face."
Well, I think the most reasonable reaction to being scared is probably that he will turn into a bear. So that might be counterproductive.
And then I'll just cut off his face.
Can I try and dispel magic from him?
You've actually tried dispelling magic twice, and it has
yes.
yeah.
Hmm.
Is it possible that I could make an arcane knowledge check to see if I know anything about curses of this kind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I try Flame Strike?
I'm just seeing.
Ooh.
Remove fear. Um, I don't know whether or not they see the reverse of bless is curse, but I'm not too.
That's just a penalty in place of the bonus, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like an anti-augment.
This seems like curse plus.
yeah,
This is a capital C curse.
um, yeah. Right. Oh, Caramore, you found your.
Yeah,
Mojo.
he knows stuff. He can't do it, but he knows it.
You remember that it could be that this could be like a werebear that has been cursed through the being bitten by another bear. It seems that in those cases it tends to be a shift in some respond to the moon, some respond to stress levels. You can see he seems to be quite calm at the moment. Caramore, you do make the point to the party, or feel free to make the point to the party, that if Billy was turned into a werebear, if he is a werebear, it actually means that there's possibly another beast in the swamp.
Yeah, if this is a therianthropic curse, then he may have been infected by another such creature. Which makes me worry. He didn't bite you, did he, Brasive?
Abrasive.
Um, these
I
Show
don't
your arms,
remember.
Brasive.
some of these curses operate sort of like an infectious disease, and they are
I have no
passed on
scars or anything.
by
Look
like
at me.
bites, that
Look
sort
at
of
these.
thing.
Look at these massive muscles.
We weren't asking about your scars or your muscles, just your current
Look at
wounds.
Asking about whether he bit you.
I wasn't wounded, all right?
Right. Okay, so that's good. But if it is that, then that could still mean there's another one out there somewhere
Oh,
Like
that's
the beast that we're
responsible
looking.
for Billy turning.
We know there's a beast out here, right?
maybe it's a
Because the
different place.
missions, the whole map situation. Who has the map right now?
Well,
I want you to look at the map. There's like we're going up to the spa area to fix the hot springs and kill something that's there. And there's also like a beast sighting to the right.
I think I might
And
have
the
the
map,
map.
and the map, and the map, and the map, and the map.
yeah,
Wait, do I have the map? I might have stolen the
I
map.
wasn't really paying attention when they were talking at us back at the house. There was something about a creature in the springs and maybe something in the woods, but I leave those sorts of things to you, really.
The you,
Right.
you're our wizard. You
Well,
leave the thinking
yes.
to the gnome.
No, no, I leave the listening to peasants to the gnome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I have a thing with peasants, you know. Um, but okay, so maybe your curse thing's true, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's tied to location or something around here. He seems to lack his memory, but he's still around here. So regardless, if we bring him
Well,
somewhere, we
bears are
might be able to get more
territorial, I
information.
think, aren't they? I mean, I don't really know a lot about bears, but I thought they were sort of territorial. So it could be that he's staying around the place where he was converted, if he was infected that way. In which case, I would guess if they are territorial, that he would be close to where he was converted, but not actually the place where he was infected, because that would be the territory of whatever bit him. If that's what happened, we don't know it.
He doesn't know.
As Caramore continues to talk, Brasive slowly nods off to sleep. Thinking, what?
So it might not be that this is the dangerous place because of Billy. It might be that this is a dangerous place because of Billy, and that next to it is another dangerous place because of something else. So I think it would be a good idea to go back to the house, and plan better.
I
Are we
mean,
going for that?
I'm looking at the map now. There's a skull with horns and it has its face going, ah! Like, if there's a beast in the woods, I think we should go there and kill the beast and save the Billy and then bring Billy back.
Well, I'd rather put Billy in a safe place before we go any further.
Are you sure
what do we
about that?
get out of killing the beast?
Yeah.
No, but look, I mean, Billy just freaked out at a bunch of Froglodites. Do we really want to leave him in our beautiful, pristine, not well kept home with people who might step around the corner and scare him into destroying everything? I
What
say
about
no.
this witch woman type that we were alerted to? I wonder if she knows more about curses.
Nightshade, yeah.
That's a good point. We could backtrack over there, but
It is
aren't
more
we?
folk knowledgey stuff rather than, my speciality is arcane knowledge, academic information.
You're currently, if you're on the map, let me move you to the big map so you can see it, because this will be on your little map. So you're currently at the purple cross. That's where your second campsite was. The red cross was your first one.
Well, I agree with Bella in a
past-
sense, because I think we should take the Billy with us, because at the end of the day, it's not a tank, isn't it? If you're in trouble, then Billy will kick ass, hopefully. But yeah, Bella's right, I think, personally. We'll take him with us. Sorry.
And we're almost there. We're almost to the hot springs. We could go handle this.
We're halfway there.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're like
We got Billy on a chair. Yeah.
we're like 83% there. Like we
Right.
may as well make our way here. After all, I can put Billy back out. I mean, Brasive can put Billy back out. Really
You're
easy.
right there.
So
You're
Nobody
very
puts
right.
Billy back in the box.
I like what you mean. All right, I'll carry the stupid Billy. We'll go forward, we'll kill the beast, and then fix the curse, right? Right?
maybe.
No.
Well, I suppose if we're going to the hot springs, at least we can have a clean bear.
So just so you are aware, because, if somebody actually does want to prod Billy to get him to change into a bear, he's currently got a serious wound on his head, which means that he has a healing rate. With minor wounds, it's days, but with a serious wound, it's weeks. So currently he will, with appropriate rest and care attention, he will gain his 1 hit point back in 1 week. That will take him to 1 hit point on his head, which will make him come round from unconsciousness.
I think there's a suggestion here, Medevac, maybe. One would assume. No one. Maybe
No.
not. Maybe
No.
some sort of special spell. Yeah, one that heals, maybe.
Does your god of evisceration have that?
Do we want to heal the bear that just tried to eat Brasive? This is just throwing that in there.
The bear
I
that
tried to
seemed
pick
like
He's
it
it
was
not actually
trying.
in danger
tell you
of
what.
dying right now. Then are we really that bothered?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll reach down to his paw. And I'll pull the thorn out of his paw. Yeah, there. That's all right. Nice day. I should cast Tom, where
Ooh.
I'd use a
Put a little bandage on his head.
and then I will use a punch luck and reroll that. Yes.
Oh
I'm gonna put my dagger at his head. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
no. What if you slap him? Maybe he'll wake up.
See, this
That
is
rock
why
is still.
the goddess of evisceration. This is why.
Did you offend your god maybe when you said you wanted to kill a village full of men, women, and children, especially the children?
Maybe I did. Yes. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not that pure sometimes.
You gotta be more like Bartleby.
Do you? What healings? You might not want to use a healing spell on him. I think. What will Poetry look?
I'll tell you what I can do. I cast cure minor wounds.
I'm just reading that. It has limited effect on. Oh, it has limited effects on serious and major wound, with only one single hit point being recovered. So a successful cast of that will actually give him one hit point back in his head, which will make it from a serious wound to a minor wound. Yeah. So you just need to roll your channeling and use up some nice magic points. See, now that you're doing a good thing, your goddess is looking down on you. And so that will bring Billy Bear 1 point. So just to let you know, in his head, he has 9 points in bear form, not in human form. And obviously in human form, he has no armor. His natural armor comes when he's in bear form. So either cure some of the wound, and you notice that the little slingshot, once the healing's done, just pops out of his head, and you manage to pick it up if you wish, Bell, and add it back. What ask for sleight of hand or anything like that, and he sort of
do sleight of hand.
Oh, yeah. Well, you would only be doing sleight of hand if you don't want anybody else to see. Do you want?
Yeah, because I think it'll help raise his self-esteem if I make it hidden.
Oh yes, so yeah, I see. So sleight of hand then. Let's hope you don't.
Because raise of self-esteem is clearly a major
suffering.
issue.
Yeah,
yeah.
No, they see it.
He's so unsure of himself all the time.
No, he sees it, and you pocket it and pop it back into your sling pouch, or his bullet pouch, and you notice that Billy Bear starts to moan and come round slightly. Caramel, can you make a insight check for me, please?
An insight check. Insight.
No.
I'm just
maybe. Is this before or after I've snacked and got my
You're fine. You're fine.
Back?
I'm going to send you something in Discord, so make sure you got it open.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting.
You need like an ad space here.
Got it? Yeah, so Ida
Yes.
reaches down and the
Can we make sure we make him comfortable and calm and relaxed? Just just in case of further furriness.
he's currently got his hands and feet tied, Brace, if you remember. And the healing magic goes over the bear and the body of this man, and the slingshot pops out of his head, and the Billy Bear starts to come round, and immediately murmurs slightly, but then you, Brace, if you're closest at the moment, you notice that almost like he tries to move his arms and legs and feels that they are bound. And Abrasive, you can see in his eye that for a moment there are a couple of human eyes. And then as he starts to try to resist against his bound arms and legs, his eyes almost like turn yellow. And you notice that in the panic, he started to thrash around, etc.
I'm gonna
relax, Billy. Calm down.
Wait, we don't need that. Just calm down. Calm down.
We've had to shut up, Richard. We've had to tie you for your own good. You've been injured. We don't want you moving and making it worse. I think that's going to be a deceit check, isn't it?
Yeah, and I really like the idea that Calmore is sort of like three people back.
From the back of
yeah.
I'm not going near him.
Let's roll 32.
Ooh, just about.
Yeah. So this will be against his willpower. So here's his willpower. Ooh. How many points? Hang on, because I've got luck points. I've got 10 of them. No, I don't. He's sort of like your dulcet tones wash over, and he sort of like looks around to try to locate the source of the voice, the calming voice.
Wave at him from behind the others.
you could do it over the top of Belle's head. Brace, if you were talking as well, is there something that you wanted to do as well, or
no? Just trying to calm him down.
Okay then. Yeah. So he seems to you notice that Brace, if you're close enough, you sort of like step out of bite reach from him, and you notice that he sort of like is straining his head to look past Belle. As he looks past Belle, Brace, if you notice that there's a slight trickle of saliva comes from his mouth as he sees a mouthful portion of gnome sat there, but his eyes then fix on you, Caramore.
I'm gonna lurk into the shadows as best I can.
Just stay calm. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to we have something we need to get done, and then we're going to get you some help. We're going to take you somewhere where you'll be looked after and your wounds can be dealt with, and everything will be fine and lovely, and everything will be great. Just stay calm. Please stay calm.
He sort of like, it looks like your deceitful influence check is actually working, and he seems to be keeping calm. And Brace, if you notice that the yellow disappears from his eyes, and he seems to be talking to you, Caramel, now, rather than Brasive, even though he's finding it really hard to turn his head to sort of like see you. And you hear almost like a raspy voice because he's been knocked out, and he's only got 1 point back from a serious wound, so he's still probably got a very bad headache from the slingshot that whacked him in the head. And he sort of like lies his head down, and he says, "Why am I tied up?"
As I said, you were injured, and we don't want you aggravating your wounds. So we've tied you up so you can't move and can't make things worse until we can get you some proper healing. Yeah, we'd put you on a stretcher, but we don't have a stretcher, unfortunately. So this is the best we could do.
My head hurts.
She said she liked it this way.
My head hurts.
Yes, you did take a blow to the head. So really, you should
still have your head.
Stay. Thank you, Grace, if that was helpful. You should stay still as much as possible. Try not to move. Try not to think too much. Just maybe nap a little. You'll feel better after a bit of a nap.
Roll your influence check.
Oh dear, no.
Even if I give you minutes, even if I give you days,
yeah.
He sort of like rests his head down on the ground, and he says to you, "Oh, what's happening next?"
Billy, just go with the flow. I'll try and influence check on him.
How long have you been turning to bears?
I was in favor of taking you to for help straight away, but people seem to think that what we have to do at the springs is important. So we're going to go to the springs. Maybe you can have a nice, relaxing bathe in the warm springs, nice and relaxing.
Indeed,
That might
yeah.
help your injuries. So that I think is next in line. Yes.
He sort of like says, "How am I going to get there? I'm tied up."
Well, we'll have to carry you. This is what happens with injured people. You see, you're not in a fit state to walk yourself, so we'll have to take you there. Well, I say we, Brasive will have to take you there.
Someone's going to... I can probably walk. I'm just a bit dizzy.
All right. Look at me, you. If you turn to a bear again, I'll chop your head off with my axe. You understand?
Brasive.
He says, "Not a bear. I'm not a bear," he says. I'm just Billy.
Billy, you turned to a bear and almost ate the little midget over there.
I turn into a bear. I actually turn into a bear.
Yeah.
Billy, and
Burn everything.
Walk by me, Billy. We'll be safe together.
You notice as this news is presented to him that the feeling of panic and uncertainty starts to rise again as Caramel takes a step backwards.
Calm down. Calm. I don't know.
Stay calm.
Check.
We'll kill you, but stay calm.
Go for it, Brasive. Let's.
Is that an influence? I don't have influence right. Oh god.
Yes, you do.
Everybody has influence. Hey, you could switch it.
You know what? You could. Screw it. I will switch it.
Remember, it is an opposed roll.
Yeah. Does he look that good at insight?
No,
it's against my willpower.
Yeah, does he look that good at willpower?
No.
Nah.
He's a bear.
Are you going to do? No, he's a human. He's a man.
Why are we not just giving him another heal on the head now that he's in minor wounds? And
yeah, I don't know what.
I don't know what.
Kill the
Why don't we
beast.
just heal him and let him walk with us? Like, meta knowledge, he wasn't even trying to kill us until we attacked him. He was trying to kill the froggies, troglodytes.
Yeah, I will reverse it.
Okay,
18 out of
20. 18. Let's roll his willpower. He actually fails his willpower, and he almost like sees you as a fellow man. Fellow man. I forget what you said now. But he says, he looks at you, Bracef, and says, sorry if I turned into a bear. I can't remember turning into a bear. And he looks at you, Bracef, and he says, my name's Billy. What's your name?
Oh, God.
Bob.
I can't do this.
It's just your name. It's just your name.
That's not my name. That's not my name. My
Remember,
name
it
is,
starts with the same letter as my name.
I'm Bracef, Ida, the small one, the goblin thing, and then what you?
The goblin thing. This is Belle, who has a passion of hating goblins.
I want to throw a dirt clod at
that point.
Oh, I thought you.
At that point, as Billy, in human form, his eyes locks with Bracef, and they have a moment together of being fellow combatants and men together. Men together. We are going to take our break for tonight. So we will be back in 15 minutes. So about 10 to the hour, we will be back. So please make sure that.
You so long, Bracef.
So please, please head off and grab a snack and some drink, and we will see you back about 10 to the hour. We are back. We are back, and we left the party. Well, we left Bracef bonding over, bonding with a tied up human male who's shirtless.
Rude. Yeah. The new
shirts.
series, Bracef and the Bear, will be coming this fall.
Yeah.
Sundays at 8.
We've probably just spoilt Captain's end of stream.
Sorry, did I anticipate what you were going to announce? I do apologise.
Yes, Bracef, you were talking to Billy, who's in human form, and you were telling him why he was bound up, and you said that he was a bear because he turns into a bear, and he looked quite shocked about that, and he obviously doesn't understand that or has no memory or concept of actually being a bear.
Obviously, I mean, you're actually like a bear, right? Like you turn into a bear. You're not a very hairy man. You're kind of tiny. So it's not what I mean. You're an actual bear.
He sort of like lay down on his side with his arms and legs sort of like straight out because you've bound them, and he sort of like thinks for a while, and he sort of like, he says, this might explain the gaps in my memory. I thought I'd just been sleeping.
He just lays down with his hand under his.
Like you're sleepwalking or something. You go to one area and wake up in another completely area.
Yeah.
What?
And
right, whatever.
And he sort of like exposes his side to you underneath his arm, and you notice he says, "I don't know where I got these from? And you can see the telltale signs of like
Shingles.
a 3-claw rake down across his ribs, underneath his arm. Brasive, just roll your first aid skill.
I'm not a medical person either, but that looks like an infection vector to me.
I'm not using a point of luck.
Yeah,
Right.
It looks like he's been clawed by an animal. Caramore, are you staying that far away still underneath the tree?
Probably not now. No, he's not. Doesn't seem to be imminently turning into a bear. So,
All right. What time of the day is it at this point?
It's about 10, 11 o'clock. It'll soon be lunchtime.
All right. We're going to do this. I'm going to let you free. If you feel you're losing control of your emotions like a woman, then maybe you get away from the party before I kill you because you put us in danger. You understand?
Yeah, I'll just run.
I think it's important to remember, Billy, that we are your friends and we mean the best for you, and we are trying to help.
I don't know what he's talking about, but
Caramore, do you want to roll deceit again?
Deceit again for that one, yeah.
No,
apparently not.
You could use a point of luck.
I'm going to spend a point of luck on that. Yeah, I think that's the important thing to be lucky about.
Nice.
Is convincing the bear that I'm his friend. So yeah, that'd be a 35. So that's a success.
So that's 35, and he fails his. He sort of like, yeah, you're my friends. He says, I'll run if I feel myself losing control. I'll run. I don't want to.
Billy,
I don't want to hit. I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat any of you.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Just
Billy,
stay
if you
calm, and I think
change-
we'll all be fine.
If you change, Billy, we will purify you. Don't worry.
But I'll run. I'll run.
Good idea.
I don't want.
Is that the Warhammer version of purify?
Yes. I don't want to hurt my friends.
okay. We're going to eat, then we're going to move on, and then we're going to figure your thing out after we kill the other beast. Got it?
And Billy, I'll be your dog.
So you sit and you eat and you have rations, and you spend some time looking at the map that you've got from Swamp Marsh, and you notice that you're trying to decide when you want to arrive at the hot springs. It's whether or not you want to arrive at the hot springs at nightfall, or whether or not you want to take a shorter distance traveled to actually camp before you get in sight of the hot springs, and then go to the hot springs at the start of a day. It's up to you. What's going to be your plan?
I think it makes the most sense to camp right before entering. Make sure we're good energy-wise. We don't want to attack with a slow amount of endurance.
Make sure we're all rested up when we hit the hot springs. Yeah.
So I'll stop you somewhere that you can't see the hot springs. So things like your fire will be out of sight. Does that sound reasonable? So so you won't be able to see the hot springs, and they won't be able to see you, but you're close enough to actually travel there and arrive there the next day, so to speak. Okay. Bracif, can you just roll your survival skill? I think you have survival.
It is a skill that I am good
at. That you're good at. And you decide to find a solid piece of ground to actually camp on the night. And you walk a little way as the surrounding area goes into dusk. And you find somewhere, and you sort of like think that Bracif, you sort of like say, this would be a good place to camp. And people,
is that what I sound like?
That was
exactly what you sound like.
Yeah. And you what?
Oh, being insatiable bird. Insatiable? Oh.
I have no idea. I have no idea at all.
Is that some sort of bird? I don't. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, and you sort of like start collecting some like the dried firewood that you can find around to sort of like light a fire, knowing that you're safely out of sight of the hot springs. But as you are about to light the fire, you actually notice that there's another fire that's been lit already. Okay. So there's a fire that you can see. I'm just taking you back to the map. So you can see it. So it's in walking distance of you, but it's in the trees and the swamp. But it's sort of like here. Can you see where I put that orange cross? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see it's out there. Let's gnome ears and gnome eyes make a perception check. You probably
gnome eyes see.
You probably noticed this as you're collecting firewood, Belle, and you notice this campfire being lit, and you can see that there's shadows around it. They look human size, and they seem to be sat down, facing in to the fire. And you can see them. They're very clear, being silhouetted, and you sort of like pick up a couple more twigs and then rush back to the camp to let everybody else know.
We can't hear you, Belle. Your microphone's being all weird.
Again.
God damn it, Belle.
Apparently they've got a communications jammer at this other fire, and it's messing with Belle.
It's a white noise generator. And he looks like he's praying to Jesus or something with his...
Is it working now?
Yes!
Now
yes! Good. Yes, okay. It is now.
I was just saying, I could still go back there and probably like listen to them if you guys wanted me to see what kind of people they are, or we could all just go over like normal people and try and make some friends, because we don't have that many friends.
Well, take a pot roast, you mean?
You mean we're going to pretend to be their friends, and at the last minute, when they turn their back, we chop their heads off.
No, Bracif, that's not how you make friends.
And we could talk about pretending to be friends around Billy.
Billy has found a pot of honey and he's literally scooping it out with his hand.
He's a bear with very little brain.
A bear like honey.
I mean, we at least I have some firewood already. We could share rations, share stories, make new friends. I'm just
because
saying, I'm used to the big city, and like we've been out in these woods for months, and there's barely any people in the town that we do have, and like maybe
Yeah, going up to somebody in the tavern and talking to them sounds absolutely fine and lovely and dandy, yes. But so far in this woods, we've met vampire birds that wanted to kill us. We've met frog things that wanted to kill us. And we've met a bear that wanted to kill us. There's a
Caravan,
pattern here.
and
Caramore,
unfortunately for all of them, I wanted to kill them.
Caramore, I thought you were going to say, will you stop using the word bear? Because I've barely seen it. Will you stop using the word bear?
Yeah, can we find another word?
Belle, you could go on a scouting mission if you wish.
yeah, because my friends don't seem eager to make friends. Expand our horizons. I'm gonna go do a little stealth. I'll dump the sticks I've gathered, like and give a little huff, and then walk back in that direction.
Okay, then.
Would you like a stealth roll?
I certainly would. Thank you.
37 out of 73.
Yeah,
and
74.
because I'm paranoid, I'd like to use a point of luck to reverse that. To make it a 73 out of 74.
To make it a 73. Nice.
Yeah. And if I have shadows,
That's a really good roll.
it's a level harder for them.
Yes. So I rolled a 40, which means that your opposed roll beats mine. Well, good job you changed it, by the way, because otherwise my perception roll was 40. So I would have won. If you hadn't swapped it around. So you get close enough to see and hear. What vision do you have?
I do have dark vision, I believe. Dark vision 60 feet and magical resistance.
So dark vision allows you to see in that grayish light, doesn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. So you get closer, and the first thing you notice is that the fire is not a fire that says we are trying to hide. It's not like a bonfire, but it is a substantial fire. And there seems to be some kind of rabbit or something like that roasting over it. And there seems to be 4 men. Okay, they appear to be humans, and they seem to be dressed in armor, and they seem to be handling and passing some things around. You sort of like wait, and they're sort of like holding it up to the firelight, and they seems to be passing around and celebrating and being really pleased with themselves. And they seem to be handling gems. Do you have a commerce skill?
Boy, howdy do I.
I was just stuck on rabbit. Going, rabbit, no.
Roll.
The rabbit does a backflip in the fire.
Yeah. Roll your commerce.
They're probably worth a lot.
They are. There seems to be they seem to have 1 each, and they seem to have a ruby, an emerald, a garnet, maybe a diamond. They seem to be celebrating. They definitely seem to be celebrating, and they each put their gems in a belt pouch and start ripping up the bit of the roasted meat over the fire, and they're sort of like, slapping each other on the back. They don't seem to be quiet at all. They're laughing at other people's jokes, etc. You've got a gnome hearing skill, have you not?
Yes, I do. Great hearing. I'll pop it in, right? Pow. It's part of my roguish nature more than my gnomish, but if you want to blame it on my ears, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay then. So roll your perception.
I have 2 points left. I'm gonna use one of my points to do that flip.
To
Flip it from a
reverse it.
71 to a 17.
Okay, so it'd be 17 out of 53. So not the best of rolls, but a successful roll. So you hear almost like snippets of the conversation. The odd word, the odd phrase, things like that. And so these are sort of like the bits that you hear. They say something about easy money. And so, like, who would have thought? And did you see how these, and they're pointing to the gems, popped out? They say if it wasn't so big, they would have been able to make a lot of money out of it. And one of them said something about, do you guys feel guilty? And you hear another one says, no, not at all. And there's a pause, and then they all laugh and joke. And they're sort of like saying, one says, oh, we'll never have to work again once we cash in these.
Okay, so I think I have an idea of who these people are then, but I do have one question.
Yeah, go
I have
for
the
it.
skill language thieves can't or can't.
Yeah.
Do they seem like they're part of the guild
No.
that I have an oath to?
No. They're definitely
Oh.
not associated with your guild at all.
They're not part of the club, and they're that's
Whoa.
not good. Okay, I'm gonna slink my way back if I can.
Yeah.
Do I need to do another stealth or?
No, you're fine. They're not actively looking for you, and you made it in, so you could probably make it out. Oh yes, make a stealth roll. Let's make a stealth. Okay, you appear in the campsite. You hear these small footsteps coming towards you, and then Belle appears, Brasive and Ida and Caramore and Billy the bear. Yeah.
Well, I've got some bad news. Oh, sorry, Caramore. You need to keep your eyes about you out here. You never know who could be stealing when they shouldn't be stealing. They're not part of the guild. And, okay, so what I found out is that we have like 4 guys in. Wait, what kind of armor did they have? Was it like leather or metal?
Oh, good question.
I remember you said armor.
I think it was paper armor, right?
Paper armor?
Yeah. Put paper bags over them and just.
Yeah.
It seems to be light leather, maybe a little bit heavier on the arms. One of the things that you do notice is that they didn't have helmets on, but they did have helmets next to them. Oh, that's the other thing that I was going to say to you. They seem to have long swords and daggers, and there seem to be some heavy crossbows on the propped up against trees. They weren't pulled or anything like that. They were just propped up, almost like to keep them out the way.
They're definitely bandits of some kind. 4 of them. Long swords, leather armor, the stolen gems. I saw them holding those gems, and they were common thieves. They're not a professional. They're not professionals.
Are you drunk?
Okay.
Which means we need to do something.
Want me to kill him?
Well, that seems a little bit drastic for breaking guild code, but I think we need to turn them in or something. They stole gemstones.
Turn them into,
Gemstones.
like what? Corpses?
I never saw you as an active citizen, but okay, whatever.
Caramel, roll your insight. I like it that Caramel's the intellect in this and sort of like fine.
Reluctant intellect.
Yeah. So you're sat pondering what Belle is going on with, as everybody else is enthralled by her discussion, and you're suddenly thinking about where they got these gemstones from.
Yeah, I am, as it happens. Who on earth have they robbed out here?
They said they were trying to hide, and so they definitely stole from somebody who's maybe nearby, or maybe they traveled out here to hide away. Either way, they can't get away with this.
Maybe it's not theft. Maybe it's a confidence trick.
What?
Because I can't see who they'd be robbing out here. But maybe there's something, some source of these gems that they know about, and they're hiding it from other people. Maybe they're even faking some of the, not all, we know that, but some of these stories of beasts or monsters in the area to keep people away so they can claim all the gems. I mean, it's still thievery, I suppose, but it's a different form of thievery.
He did say it was easy money, but that they wouldn't need to ever work again.
Yeah, so there's got to be a big supply of them, and thievery is working, surely. I mean, you would surely understand that robbing people it's not a legitimate job, but it's a job. So it's not working, is it?
Sorry, so they are being confidence tricked.
Sounds more like they're just picking it up from somewhere.
Mm.
Belle, I sent you a message. Did you see it on Discord?
Belle's taking her phone out. She puts her phone in her hands. She turns on Discord. Yeah, but they said they got the gems in exchange for something, so they didn't just find them. They took them, or they were going to exchange them for something.
It sounds as if they had exchanged them for something. Is his mic gone?
No, I just haven't said anything. I'm holding up my hands as if like,
oh, I
come
can't
on, guys.
Well, whatever they're up to clearly isn't legitimate. I'll agree with you on that.
There's stony silence, and then everybody talks all at the same time.
At once, yeah.
Abrasive will stand up. He'll pick up his axe. Oh, just kill them. Let's just get it done with. Bam. Take a nap afterwards.
Well, it's starting to dawn on me that maybe they aren't thieves. I just heard thief language, and I thought they might be thieves. And now it's dawning on me that they, Caramore, you might be right, Caramore. They might be more of like picking it up and
I don't think they're upright citizens either way. They're up to something nefarious. I trust your opinions on that.
Yeah.
Braces just looks dumbfounded that you used a word that he has no idea what.
Including the
he
word
thought nefarious was a type of fairy.
Yeah.
It's like a night fairy. What's that?
If it's not legal, it's not right.
So is your god like a god of justice then? Or
stop picking on my god.
No, I want to know about your god, and all I get is a name, and then it doesn't matter.
She's going to shoot shopping, Nisa.
Yes.
She can get some nice biscuits from there.
You elves are peculiar folk.
We are country folk. Yeah. My goddess is the goddess of protection, charity, and kindness.
Okay.
So in the name of the goddess of kindness, we must absolutely kill them.
Kill them all.
So what should we do about these bandit weirdo people in the woods doing weird things?
Well, there is a case to be made that we are the local authorities now, being lords of the manor and all that.
Indeed.
So I think we could legitimately confront them as said authorities, find out what they're doing, and determine for ourselves whether it's reasonable for them to keep doing it. And if not, to stop them. And if it is reasonable, to impose taxes.
So take them to the local magistrate.
We are the local magistrate now, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's Bracef. He's the local. Or no, you're the sheriff.
Yeah, I am.
Sheriff Bracef, I like it.
Bracef smirks at Caramore. And this, you lead the charge, Caramore. You talk these thieves. See what the problems are.
Well,
So
you'll be there to step in if they get unpleasant. Yes, that's the plan.
Of course.
Sorry. Caramore taught these thieves what?
You lost me at the taxes, to be honest. Like, I get that this might be our property, and that we could talk to them to make sure they're not doing anything bad. Like, if they were just hunters who found something to exchange for gems.
Yeah, I'm more that Caramore taught the thieves to do something. Is that right?
No, I don't know where you're getting that from.
Well, sorry, I thought Captain said you taught the thieves to do something.
No, I think he wanted to talk to the thieves. So I'm not so very sure that that's a good plan. But I'm willing to do the talking if that's what we want, so long as people are there to back me up.
Well, you know what I want, but if you want to do what you want, go ahead. I'll follow. See what happens.
Sorry, Cap, the accent threw me off.
I know.
Well, before I go anywhere, I want a reminder of how long the armor spell runs for in this version of the game, and whether I need to recast it.
It runs until you sleep.
Yeah, 24.
And then once you go,
haven't slept yet. That's cool.
No,
it's an awesome spell.
I was just
it's like Magic Shield.
Roll20 is bringing out a new layer called Foreground Layer, which actually I don't know if you can see now. I don't know what you see, but I see the tree on top of you all. So you're actually underneath the tree. But eventually, if I don't have access to it, I'll be able to put it on Foreground Layer and it'll go into an opacity. So you can actually...
so you can put the things that are above us on a higher layer and we don't...
Yeah. So things like...
That's nice. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So I
think Foundry has that.
Yeah, you'll actually be able to go under trees rather than sitting on top of them. So, which I think is...
I think I can do that in Fantasy Grounds as well.
Yeah.
On the tree,
I think you
free.
You can do it now. So if you move, for me, you're underneath the tree because I brought the tree right the way to the top. But it's going to be... I
think we're still on the map, aren't we?
Are you still on the map? Right. Hang on
then. We're still on the map, so we can't see that anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
And
can you see?
Yeah, that's clear. I like that. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the AD&D second edition I was running last week, where I'd got a treehouse. It was a hollow tree trunk with furniture in it for the druid, and then I put the tree over the top of that, so the players couldn't see until I removed that tree. They couldn't see the interior. It was quite cool.
Now if you try to sit on the tree, you'll stand on top of it. Look.
Yeah.
Because it's now on the map layer rather than anyway.
The tree over tree, treeing free.
I just fell through the tree.
Oh no.
Right. Okay then. So, what's going to be the plan? Billy Bear sort of like is frankly watching you one person to the other, and it's sort of like he's going to take his lead from you, Bracef, I think, since you've got a bit of a bond. Bracef, Billy sort of like gets close to you and says, shall I get a stick?
No, where's his sister? Sorry, I mean his wife. So where's his wife?
Back at our place.
Yeah, we left his wife to live at our home for a while.
Beyonce, if I remember rightly.
Is it wife or sister? I can't remember which.
Girlfriend. but
His
Okay.
his betrothed.
Oh,
Yeah.
we hope
Betrothed,
it's not
yeah.
sister as well. We don't know how small this town is.
Yeah.
So it could be a sister. We don't know yet. Could be a cousin.
I mean, I feel like Caramore, you lead with Ida there to help you, Bracef shortly behind, and I will be in the trees.
Okay.
And then Billy, you just stay at camp here. Maybe start getting things set up. That'll be nice. You could set up a campfire, and then when we come back, we'll say "Yay for Billy!"
Yeah, I think it's probably best if you stay here, Billy.
He sort of like nods and
Go, Billy.
sort of like
Go, Billy.
sits cross-legged on the ground, looking around. You don't have a fire lit yet because just that, like the other fire could be seen from here. If you light a fire, they'll be able to see.
Yeah, that'll be his
You
job
just
while we're
fireball
away
it, Billy.
You know,
dealing with things.
actually, that could be a plan. If
What?
they're up to no good, they might investigate if they see a fire. So what if we set up an ambush position and Billy lights a fire, and then if they come to investigate, then we nab them.
You didn't start.
That is that's a fantastic idea, but for one thing, and I'm going to point at Bracev's midsection.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that Bracev has ever set up an ambush successfully in all the time I've seen him without giving himself away with some sort of bodily gas moving about. I think we've tried it many times in the non-screen version of this game previously, but
it's true. Sorry.
Okay.
But also, they
right.
won't have their weapons out if we
Good to
ambush
know.
them now. Or they
Oh
could draw them.
yes.
If they come to kill us, then they'd have
But I
their
thought we
weapons.
were going to talk to them rather than ambush them.
I'm just thinking
Which
about
will give them
worst-case
time to draw
scenarios.
weapons if they.
I mean, you'll have your. You don't have a. Do you have a weapon? Is that stick a weapon?
Stick.
Okay,
He's got
yeah,
a
your
quarterstaff,
walking
and
stick.
he does have a dagger, but
It's a weapon
mainly he
from
hits
him
into
falling
a
down.
quarterstaff.
The other thing that I'd just like to throw out there: who's actually got dark vision?
I believe it's Bracev and myself.
Right.
I believe Elf has something that's low light.
Elf.
Elf.
Yeah.
Elf.
Confusing Elf.
Elf.
Elf has pointy ears. You see stuff. I think it's low light, isn't it?
That's what I was saying.
I mean, I
But
can cast light.
That's so racist. The elf.
No, they have. They have.
I meant all elves.
They have
Yeah.
sharp vision. Due to their acute visual acuity, elves find all perception rolls to spot something one grade harder.
We get
Easier.
it. We get it. Those are
David-
cute. Whatever.
What do you mean by
They've
cute?
Yeah.
ignored the seeing by starlight thing and gone with the counting here
Yeah.
at long distance.
Well,
thing.
gnomes and half-orc have dark vision, and humans, bless you, you don't have anything at all.
You're telling me-
Lisa's shouting me back in a sec.
I learned how to be as good a vision as an elf. I just learned it. From
Yeah.
being a rogue. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Didn't know you could just learn.
Is that compatible
somebody's
with being
racial
an elf?
feature.
Can you take elven rogues even better?
No, because the dark vision is due to the... Oh, yes, you could.
So you'd have two
Yeah.
stages
Yeah.
better
So-
as an
so-
elven rogue with.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It would be very easy. Oh no, yeah, it was just normally it would be very easy, but it just means that if I put in a formidable difficulty grade, it'll just be standard for them. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be fairly awesome.
Yeah. So it's the sun's going to be coming up soon. I just want to put that out.
Yep, so I put out my plan.
Fire.
Yeah.
They've got a fire, so
Yeah.
there is a light source.
There is a light source there, but there's no light source going between where you are and the light
Between here
source.
and
huh?
there. No, so
Yeah.
we might be stumbling through the forest, making a heck of a lot of noise.
And I'm
letting
just
them know we're
thinking,
coming.
I'm just thinking the range of your burning hand spell. You really need to get quite
Really
close.
short.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm approaching them openly anyway to talk to them,
Hmm.
I could cast light and I could approach with my own light source, so
You
they'd see me
could.
coming.
Yes, 100%.
But then maybe I wouldn't be scary because I would be
Or
openly approaching them in a friendly manner.
yeah, or you will light up a lovely crossbow target for them.
They have
Or
heavy
yes, the other
crossbows.
alternative is that I will be
Yeah.
very easy.
That's a
Yes.
smart move for sure.
Which is why I really wish we could have had a chance to sleep and change my spell memorization before doing this.
I mean, you
That's
don't
his
have
life.
you don't have to do anything at all.
We do have to
Well,
do
Bell
it.
seems quite insistent.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so let's break it down. First things first. Are you going in aggressively or friendly?
I'm going
we have a-
stealth.
But you're going stealth to kill them or to talk to them?
I want to
I
be
suppose.
Oh, go for it.
I suppose our options are that we either surround them and try and intimidate them into telling us what they're up to. Maybe give the
Or-
impression there are more of us than there are, or we talk to them in a friendly manner and find out what they're up to.
Or you charge in and kill them?
Well, no, that's not really that's inappropriate.
I think
we really shouldn't be
Brasive.
doing that.
I think Brasive
Yeah.
quite likes that plan.
I feel
You
like
know,
Brasive
I
feels
think
like he's
brave
gonna-
and
that's gonna be planned
inappropriate are in
regardless.
fact synonyms.
Yeah,
I
sort
feel
of
like we got like a whiteboard of ideas, and the last one
Yeah.
was scribbled on by Brasive. Or charge in.
Murder. Chop heads
No
off.
Brasive.
Alright.
I'm going in
So we've
to
got
be.
one vote for option 2, one vote for option 3, 2 votes for option 1, and 1 vote for just kill them.
yeah.
I'm going in to be backup because I've got great perception generally with hearing and seeing. So my goal would be to be setting myself up in an advantageous position to do a sneak attack if they start threatening you guys, with the expectation that you guys are going in with Brasive to deter any like, oh, let's do some swordplay just for fun, and with you guys being able to talk to them more effectively. So like if you go in quietly or friendly, I think that's my preference.
So Brasive could take the lead, and Calmore and Ida could be like his guard or his acquaintance.
I think Brasive being my guard would be more believable than the other way around.
Well, and I actually think you will probably be better at talking if need be.
That's what I was hoping for, that Caramore and Ida would be the ones who lead the talking with Brasive there if things go sour. Well, Brasive and I, if things go sour.
Does Brasive have a missile weapon? I know he has.
I do.
Ooh. What do you
Brasive
have?
is a missile weapon, isn't he?
I have I have 2 different kind of missile weapons. I have a short bow and 2 hand axes that I can use for throwing.
Right.
I really thought you were going to say shotgun when you said short bow.
I thought he was going to say 2 short spears, a javelin.
The benefit of being a fighter is that I'm awesome at fighting with all weapons.
You are. You are very much. I was just seeing what's the reload time. Oh, it's only 2 for your short bow. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much damage does a short bow do, though?
1d6 plus. Does it also include my damage bonus?
No. Your
Okay.
axe, if you chuck an axe, it does.
Yeah.
I will just check that.
Sling does D8. So sling is a little bit more powerful than a short bow, but
Not my hand axe. Promise you that.
What have you got? Short bow. No, damage modifier. Yes, it does.
Ooh.
So a crossbow doesn't, and neither does a sling.
okay. I was just about to ask if I
makes sense.
misinterpreted, but yeah.
No. But your hand
Probably
axe,
because the stronger you are, the more you can bring back
pull it
the
back.
bowstring.
Yeah.
You'd need a bow that is at the appropriate pull, but a strong person would wield a stronger bow. That
So
if you just picked one up off somebody else, you probably wouldn't get your damage bonus then.
a short bow, 1d6, force large, which is what opposes for parrying instead of size. And yeah, you can impale with it as well.
Nice. Yeah. I'm ready for it. I down for some margarine, you all. Sorry, that was
What?
I can't wait for the comments about this podcast episode. I really can't.
I feel I should just point out of character, that Caramore is never going to put himself forward. If you want him to go and talk to them, you are going to have to push him forward. He's never going to take that step and say, right, let's go. He is going to keep prevaricating until someone pushes him into it.
Well, I'm ready to get in a position.
Yeah.
You three, you've got your formation.
Yeah, I'm gonna stealth. Just it'd be the two elves.
Two elves.
Sorry, Caramore and Ida. I'm assuming they're both elves. I don't know.
No, Caramore's
you're
human.
so racist. Yeah, look at the ears.
You all look the same to me.
So Caramore's leading the way with Bracif and Ida on.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, and so Bracif, are you? Because you could, if you wish, and you as well, Belle, go in with a missile weapon knocked, ready to go, or do you want to go in with your melee weapon ready to go? I mean, obviously you've got a great axe, so it's going to be out in any case. But if you've got your bow out, you would have to drop your bow and ready your weapon.
Yeah, I'll go with the bow, kind of change it up. Because obviously, it'd be easy to murder all of them with my great axe. I'm gonna try to make it more, interesting for the viewers. That's all. So of course.
Okay then. So this piece of water here, I'm going to use as the campsite. Okay, so there's reasonable cover around. Belle will put you down here. Is that all right?
For weapon, I can't do both, correct? Short sword and sling.
What you could, you're still going to have to ready your short bow, your sling. Your short sword, no matter what. So
yeah, and if I want to reload, I wouldn't be able to do that without putting that away. In that case,
correct.
Anyway, so yeah, I would be doing sling.
Sling, okay. So these are the three men.
There's 4 of them.
4, yeah. And one woman that Belle didn't tell. No, they're all men, and they're all round the fire, and they seem to be
around an asterisk for warmth.
Yeah, they seem to be completely oblivious to your approach, Caramore, from the east there, and they don't even seem to be that perceptive or even looking for trouble or expecting trouble or anything like that. They, as you approach, they seem to be laughing and comparing gems, and they seem to be quite happy about things. So, Caramore, you're going to take the lead here, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to startle them because startled people tend to throw or shoot things. So, as I'm approaching the camp, Caramore will call out, "Ho, the camp!"
And yeah, as soon as you say this, they immediately reach for weapons, and they hurriedly stuff their gems into belt pouches. And this one here that we'll call number 1 here. He sort of like, let me just bring up his character sheet. He sort of like, in quite a gruff voice, looks around and says, where did you come from? And they seem to have their long swords out at the moment.
Calmer points over his shoulder and says, that way. It's not the warmest of nights. Any room around that fire of yours?
And he sort of like looks back. Roll your influence.
Oh, my influence.
It's one of your best rolls. You got this.
Oh!
Whoa, I
told you. What happened there?
Look how well I rolled as well.
This is the campfire I was looking for.
I think Roll20's glitched. It's rolling these on a D10 now.
Yeah. He sort of, he looks suspicious, and he looks over his shoulder and he says, all right, but you can't stay all night. You can come and get warm, and that's it.
Well, maybe after I've warmed up a bit, perhaps I could just take a brand from your fire so I can make one of my own somewhere else. I'm not good at this whole sparking rocks or rubbing sticks together thing. I really shouldn't be out here.
Are you moving into...
I will approach the fire. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's sort of like looks... Come on, move your token. There you go. Ida and Brasive, I'm presuming you're moving up, or do you want to stay back?
I'll put my my bow away now, I guess, if this is the approach. And
I was going to move up, but I could also cast sleep on them.
You have sleep?
I do have an amazing spell called sleep.
So
as a scroll up. Spell magic choice. That's like that. Turn to your person. Maybe that. Maybe I'll read somewhere else.
I have no idea what you're saying.
No, I thought
sleep has the added advantage that there's a chance you might put Caramel to sleep as well, which would make the whole rest of the party feel better.
Sorry, it's not sleep. It's cause fatigue. Sorry. It's very, very similar to sleep.
I mean, that's one way to knock a character into
sleep. It's an indirect sleep, yeah.
It is. So
drift to sleep.
So, what are you fellas doing out here in the woods?
Right, hang on a minute. Have we got? Is this a spell that's being cast?
Yes, as I walk in.
Okay, then.
I think that's a little bit of a different plan.
Well, I was
not the plan we were going with.
Kind of the wild card. That's more of a Cyrus move, but all right.
My plan is to make the more talkative people sleepy.
If they're sleepy, they might slip up and tell us something they don't want to.
What's your goddess of?
Okay, that's
cheap
my
shopping.
question.
Nisa, isn't it? It's a god of protection, kindness, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I'm thinking you would have cure fatigue rather than cause fatigue, which is
well, I do have that, but it's in brackets. This is cause fatigue as well.
Yeah, which
like cause fear. That's why remove fear.
Yeah, but I'm just asking whether or not your goddess would be giving out cause fear.
Well,
good question.
Yeah, in principle, I agree with you. But like making somebody tired.
There is the argument that it's a goddess of protection, so cause fatigue is better than explode head.
I am absolutely fine. Whatever players want to say that their goddess gives.
Fair enough. I won't. I'll walk in my hands up and swinging my chain of peacefulness around my neck.
What?
I think that Nisa is a chaos god, and you're just really trying not to admit that.
You've not seen my 8 arms, have you? That's all right.
Sorry, I am now absolutely. I think I've been befuddled somewhere along.
Players cast befuddle.
I will walk into the camp with the confidence.
I think it isn't happening, and we're just approaching the fire. I think that's what's happening.
I'm saying Nisa's love be with you, because I can't fear you or do anything else. So Nisa's love be with you.
All right.
Okay then. So
I'll put my bow away and just have I'll put my axe into the ground and I'll sit down next to Karamor.
Just out of interest, just so people know, Cause Fatigue has an area of 1 target. So if it was being used, it could have only been cast onto one of the bandits rather than an area of effect. Karamor, we'll come back to you. Yeah.
So going back to where I was going with this before the possibility of spells came in. What are you fellas doing out here in the woods?
And he sort of like looks around. So your influence roll will keep going with your current theme, if that makes sense. So they seem to be quite happy at the moment, and they say, they said we just finished a really good deal.
Oh yeah. Always have an interest in a good deal. I don't suppose there's any more to be had.
And you notice that one of the other men sort of like looks at leader 1 and says, no, don't tell them. And he sort of like says, no, look, we've got enough, haven't we? We might well let them have a go. And one of the other ones, go for it.
I was going to say, can I use my commerce skill to bamboozle them slightly with talks of returns and interest and some technical deal jargon?
By all means, go for it.
No, apparently I can't. Actually, if I reverse that, then I can.
You can, yeah.
So I shall spend a luck point to reverse that.
To 26. And they sort of like listen, and leader 1 turns to you and says, I need to ask you a sort of personal question here, young lad. He says, are you happy to do illegal things to get something like this? And he pulls out a mighty fine ruby that seems, from your commerce skill as well, our cast allow you to use it for this as well. It looks like it's uncut. So it's almost like a ruby in its raw form.
Can I roll a commerce skill?
Yeah, by all means.
No.
Nope. It looks like it's an uncut ruby, and it looks mighty fine, Karamor, mighty fine. He says, are you willing to do something illegal? Or maybe your big friend there could do something illegal?
Karamor will widen his eyes and go, oh, wow. What could be illegal about mining gems, though? Are you?
And
is it on someone else's property?
They all sort of like have a chuckle at this, as if they're sort of like bringing you into their confidence. He said, no, we didn't mine these at all.
Is it a treasure cache?
No. Well, let's just say we know somewhere that you can exchange for these.
Exchange what?
Well, He looks around, he looks left, right, and says, sacrifices.
Cool.
What, like goats and that
But
sort of thing?
they have a little chortle to themselves and says, no. He says, you have to exchange people. And for every person you exchange, this big, fat, frog-type creature poops out gems. And they give you a gem for each sacrifice.
So it eats a person and excretes a gem.
Well,
That's
I think
fascinating.
it's pooped the gems already. We don't hang around to see what happens to the...
So couldn't you just take the gems without the sacrifices?
Oh, no. Because there's like these frog people, and you go and they all worship this big frog, and you say, let's just say hypothetically, here's a young lady that we took prisoner from a local caravan, say, hypothetically.
Hypothetically, if you happen to have one around.
Yes. These things, you might come across a poor, undefended caravan, and you say...
Might have a couple of peasants with you that no one's going to miss.
Exactly. You say, hey, Mr. Shaman character, here's a young girl. And he says, fine.
That's what you want, and I'll take these off your hands.
And you get a gem. And he sort of like gestures to his three other friends. 4 sacrifices, 4 gems.
I think this sounds absolutely great. I'll tell you what else, though. Something else I think sounds interesting as a way of getting these gems. I don't know if you've considered this might work. What if you hand me the gems you've got and my big friend with the axe doesn't kill you all?
And they all laugh. Oh, one thing, mister, if you do take a sacrifice, and just be careful of the big frog-like creature, because we saw one of our sacrifices making a run for it, and it just opened its mouth, went, and this huge, humongous, sticky pink tongue flicked out, grabbed the fleeing peasant. He uses your words to try to humor you, and swallowed. One bite, gone. Well, there were a couple of legs kicking for a while, but the second gulp, and it was down. So
this is when I'll use my time to
commas.
Stand up. I want to lift my axe and attack the one closest to me.
Okay. So at this point, therefore, we need to...
The word initiative is drifting in the direction of the stream, is it not?
It certainly is. There might have been some more information, but let's see. Let's go
Well, we're dealing with human traffickers. I think we got everything we need to know.
There's probably more that we need to know, but we've got everything we want to know.
Here we go.
I can roll as well, since I'm watching, right?
Yeah, everybody can roll initiative.
Well, it's not a very good roll. Oh, actually, that's a good roll. I take it back.
Decent
I'm not
roll for a
rabbit.
change.
Abrasive? Ida? Abrasive's role is initiative is not that good, isn't it?
No.
Beep, beep, Ida.
I think Ida might have gone again.
I think we have lost Ida for now, yeah.
Right, hang on.
I just got us cast cause fatigue on Ida for doing disaster.
And Caramel, what's your initiative?
My initiative is 15.
Right, so you go before Ida. Brasive whips out his axe. Is the range true on here? Let me just check. I think it is because it was.
It's not looking bad. Yeah, I was just
2.5
doing a range check on
feet,
these two guys, and they look about right.
Okay. So Belle, you are up.
With my sling, I'd probably shift a little bit to get a good angle to hit one of the guys that are at the left side of the map, but at the back of the group compared to where my comrades are.
Which one? This one? This one would be easier to hit. Yeah.
Yeah, probably the one at the bottom.
Okay, you can sneak attack. They don't know that you're there at all, but they will do if you hit somebody after this.
Let's see. They're within 30 feet. I don't get a bonus to damage with ranged yet. I don't believe. Okay, so I gain choose location as a special effect. It's going to be head.
Yeah.
If I hit, I mean. And okay, I believe that's all the bonus I get.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Yeah. Let's actually just try and hit.
27. That is a hit. So you get choose location head, but you also get a second special,
yes.
which I'm assuming might be.
I was also going to mention, but I figured I should roll first, is I get bypass armor and maximize damage as options that do not require a critical success.
Yeah.
So I'll go with max damage on their head.
So they don't have helmets on at the moment, as previously mentioned. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess in that case, I don't roll anything. I just tell you the number 8.
Do you have a damage modifier, or is it just 1d8?
I do, but it doesn't apply to my sling.
Oh yes, yeah.
If I can add it, I'd love to roll my D2, my coin as I call it.
So you do 8 points of damage on this bandit who has only 6 points of damage, 6 hit points in his head, which means that it goes down to a negative as it hits his head. So that means that he cannot attack or cast spells, but he can only evade for the next 1d3 turns. But I also need to make an endurance check against your original roll, which was 27. He actually survives and gets 37, so he's not out cold, but he is. Would you like to roll 1d3?
I would love to, and I'll get a 2.
So he is 3. So he can only attack, or he cannot attack or start to cast spells. He can only parry and evade through the next 3 turns. And that is a headache. This brings us, let's call him bandit number 2.
Red 2.
Caramel, you are up.
Yes, indeed. And
are they close enough for burning hands?
The phrase burning hands, I reckon, should get these 2 closest ones. And the fire, but that won't really care that I'm burning hands.
What's the range on it?
It is a 5 foot long range and 120-degree cone, which I reckon it
Oh,
should
yeah.
catch those two guys.
So 5 foot is there. What's the cone?
120-degree. It's
Uh,
not quite a semicircle, but it's very nearly.
100, it is. What do you say? What
When
was
you're
it again?
using a
Sorry.
grid, it's a 120-degree cone. When you're using a grid, it's the three squares in front of me. So if we assume there was a grid there, then we probably have the fire in the middle grid space and a guy in each of the spaces to the side, which would hit all of them. Yeah, this one down here might be a little bit too far out, but certainly that one is going to get the one up there is going to get caught.
Well, so why don't we just say that the top one can get the full damage, and the one down at the bottom will take half or whatever you do.
Okay, or possibly make his evade easier or something, because they get an evade resistance. But first, I've got to cast the spell anyway. This might all be completely irrelevant.
The other thing that I do, I don't think you can do at your end, but I can actually generate a custom effect. So I'll actually create one that says burning hands, and then I can actually use it like that. Yeah. Okay, then go.
Right. So, do I want to increase the intensity on this? I wonder.
Yes. Do it. Make them burn.
Yeah.
They're human traffickers.
I'm gonna go for it. If I up it to intensity 3, then that's a little bit extra damage. So we're going to try and cast this at intensity 3.
And does that increase your casting time at all, or is it just?
If it does, I don't know where it tells me that it does. It increases the cost, certainly.
No. If it increased the casting time, it would say it after casting time. It would say one action plus whatever. Yeah.
There is a discrepancy between the spell description and the table in Imperative. However, the spell costs in the table are wrong. Intensity 3 should cost me 5, and it says 4 on the table.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I'm being honest and saying, and I'm going to spend the 5.
Yeah. And what are you doing?
I'm also, however, going to fail to cast it, which is not great. So I might just spend my last luck point and give that another go.
God, give it another go. Or use a heroic point to get an automatic success.
That's a thought. Let's go with a heroic. If people are okay with me using a heroic point, let's go with an automatic success on this instead.
Yeah.
What does that count as for purposes of their resistance?
So what am I resisting?
You're resisting on evade, but I'm just wondering if I use a heroic point for the automatic, what are they rolling against?
It's 63. So it's
cool.
It's as if it's your best possible thing.
Yeah.
What is it then? Evade? Did you say? Yeah. So I need to
indeed.
63. So this is the top one. So he makes his evade, but it's an opposed roll, so you've won that. And the bottom one fails in any case. So do some damage.
Okay.
Does this go to all locations?
This is to all hit locations?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Nice.
So 5 points to every hit location.
And does armor stop it?
Armor, I believe, does. Oh, hang on. No, natural and magic armor does, but regular armor, I don't think does. Let me just double check that.
I think that might be it, because I remember...
Worn armor does not protect.
Yeah. Okay, then. So 5 points. Right. What is it? 1. There's 2. So we'll call this one up here. This is going to be bandit number 3.
Red 3.
So let's do 1 first. 5 points of damage. So that would be 1. That would be 1. Arms. be zeros.
Crispy.
Chest is going to be 3. Arm is 0. Head's 1. And abdomen 2. Okay, then. So it's got a minor wound in all locations apart from 2 arms. Both their arms have been burnt to serious wounds. Was your 63 was your original one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the top one and the bottom one, so they both failed their rolls. So they drop their weapons and roll a 1d3.
This has to be a horrifying.
Would help if I actually included a 3 on the end of that 1d3.
Oh yes. Oh nice.
Oh yes.
Very cool.
Do you know you're just setting it up for Brasive. I'm jumping over Ida's.
As the jet of fire dies down, Calmore just yells out, "Surrender is an option."
And you use your free action to say that, and definitely this one starts to run. As if he's he's going to be running off into the night. He'll use his so for the whole of this round he's going to sprint, so he can move up to triple his move, 5 times his movement to sprint. So that'll be, he will actually get 30 feet away by the end of the round. Okay, so he's got 2 actions. So at the end of his action for this one, he will be 15 meters, 15 feet away from his original location. And
that's good information for Brasive.
Who's actually got his axe out now, and
who learned about charge last episode.
Oh yes. Brasive, what would you like to do? So just to let you know,
I couldn't catch up if I did do charge, right?
What's your movement?
20.
Yes, because you will actually overtake him. Because he'll be running a lot slower and you will run up. So you can actually, so is 20 your move?
Yeah.
So you could actually catch up with him in your movement and engage him. Oh, I've just moved the tree instead of Brasive. So let's just say for ease that you run up and you can take a swing at him and see whether or not you can take him out. He's panicking and fleeing like anything. Special hit location and damage. So as he's dashing away, you see Brasive suddenly spring off and wielding his axe, smacking them with the sharp end.
I'm gonna do choose location. Let's go
Head.
for the back. Well, I'll do head, but I'll do back. So I'm gonna go chest. Right, that's back. Yeah, chest.
Chest. Yeah. Go for it. Let's do some damage then.
Yeah, let's do that.
You can tell Brasive needs a bigger enemy when he's just doing, I'll do the area where he has the most hit points. Give him a chance. I gotta make it fun for them.
It is literally the area that has the most hit points on. Shame he's got 16 there.
Yeah.
You could have done Sunder and damaged his armor there. So he's.
I'm confident I'm good. I'm confident I'm good.
He's now got a serious, a major wound there. He needs to roll his endurance against 42. He misses an 81, and you don't actually, he's not unconscious. He's literally deaded. And just sort of falls forward with you've almost separated him. You probably went in just by the neck, by the shoulder of the neck, like a chunk like that, and he sort of like a. And what do you call it when you do that with chicken? And you
deboning?
No, you crack it and it goes flat. Is it? Is it called?
Giving it the old abrasive?
When you get cracked.
Yeah. I'm sure it's called something like carpaccio or something like that. I'll look it up. That'll be fine. Okay, that seems to be a good place to stop for tonight because it's 7 minutes. Satchcock.
Is that what that is? I know the word, no idea what it meant.
Oh no, spatchcock.
Yeah.
Satchcock is when
No.
No, just don't.
Don't.
Your 5-minute curfew isn't up yet.
Yeah. Okay, we will leave it there for tonight. You got a little bit more information before the final, probably one more session of this adventure. And then we'll do another adventure with classic fantasy. And then, hopefully Carmore, I hope you feel that you've done well tonight.
Yes, I feel a lot happier tonight.
Yeah. I mean, Brasive only took out one.
True.
Bell only took out one.
Well, actually, it was 2, technically.
You extended the fire to 2 and just incinerated them, which is unbelievable.
Yeah,
okay,
that's what Burning Hands is supposed to do.
Yes, you definitely relit your pilot light. Well done. Okay, then. So before we head off, we'll just quickly go around and let people say where they can find you. Mr. Pickles.
I have nothing really that's going on this weekend.
Have you not done another episode yet?
No, we haven't. We haven't done an
At
episode.
this point, you could just get AI to do it. Like, I don't know what's taking so long.
Brad's been sick, and we just haven't found a good time to record anything. And he's not excited about the garbage that I'm trying to get him excited about.
Can you
excuses?
Train an AI on the previous episodes and get it to replace Brad?
Yeah,
but you can't replace Brad.
Or make it a threesome.
B-Rad's not very rad right now.
Invite Captain Kangaroo and have a 3-way discussion.
Yeah, special guest episode. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to have a 3. And I took that personally.
Fishy, where can we find you?
Well, same time as this stream, but tomorrow
Ooh.
I will be playing Liminal on Druttercup's channel.
Nice.
That's a role-playing game, urban fantasy role-playing game set in and around the hidden world of London, inspired by things like the Rivers of London books by Ben Uranovich, that sort of thing.
I thought you were going to say...
We'll be investigating vampires, I think, as part of the Metropolitan Police.
Nice. Sorry, my shout-out hasn't worked for Druttercup. Try again. Druttercup. That's better. Fantastic. Medivac is having a sleep, as you can see. So it's worth going back and watching the live feed about this. We're used to it. I got worried about it at one point. Now we just carry on and I roll his initiative. And do you know? Can I just say, I had a really good combat. Look, hidden intent was my combat skill.
Use a point up there. Swap that, make it a 4.
So make it a 4. Critical, yes. And then I could hit with my long swords. No.
Yeah.
Get him.
Okay.
Negative.
I will be back streaming tomorrow at 12 o'clock for some more Elder Scrolls Online. Do come along. We'll be giving away 1,500 crowns or your choice of game expansion pack if you haven't got them all. And yeah, then on Monday and possibly Tuesday, we will be playing some more Guild Wars 2 as I continue to try to get to 80th level. Thank you so much for your support. Don't forget that you can go across to the Ko-fi site and either follow all the goodies to do with RPG or become a member and support your players with heroic points. Or if you would like to give me heroic points, that would be lovely. Because it would be
no, those are for us. I could not have burned these guys without your help.
Heroic points for heroes.
I'm happy to have heroic points or villain points. I think we should do it. And don't forget to check out all my content over on the YouTube channel. Link is coming up in the chat. Apart from that, please look after yourselves. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you all next time. And for me, I forget what I said. Anyway, for me, it's goodbye. And from the players, they can say goodbye as well.
Goodbye, I guess.
Next week.
And you're going to be just as good next week, I am sure.